Today, we're playing with fire. So the time has come where I actually have to do a disclaimer on a video. What I'm about to show you is just how I did a project. I don't recommend you do it. I don't suggest you do it. I don't know if it's right. I don't know if it's safe. I'm not a plumber, an electrician, anything, a unicorn, any of it. So I'm just simply showing how I did a project. If you decide to do something similar or the same or anything like that, it's on you. Of course, the very, very first thing I'm going to do is shut off the propane. And then I'll also, on the inside, turn my stove on and light it. And if there's any residual propane left in the line, that should bleed it out. Here's my main propane line coming in. Comes in right there. Goes up and around. That's a soft line, so I'm not going to tap into that. It goes around over to here and it hooks to some copper hard lines here. It tees off. This tee goes up to my stove, and that one goes down to the furnace. So I'm going to put another tee in here right by the support. So I'll be cutting it here and flaring it, and then putting another tee that faces off this way. I plan on installing this tee like maybe right here. So I'll have to cut the line and then put a flare in this stub and then this stub, and then maybe, you know, make a more gradual bend into the tee. So I've got the tubing marked where I want to cut it, and I should have enough slack in this, the rest of this tubing, to put a more gradual bend in to make up for that, the distance or the length of the tee. So I use a little pipe cutter. Makes a nice clean cut. If you're tempted to use a hacksaw or something, don't. Just get yourself a little pipe cutter. Keeps the pipe round, which minimizes the chances of any kind of a leak. I have this deburring tool. I just took it off my reloading bench. I'm gonna deburr the inside of the pipe here just to make sure that everything is extra clean. So for flaring this pipe, you know, I've got the flare tool thingy here. That's the rest of it. And I don't know if it's necessary or even recommended or what, but I'm going to put just a little bit of, you know, just 3-in-1 oil on here. It's just never seems like a good idea to have metal on metal anything. It just seems like it stresses it too much. So I'm just going to lubricate the, you know, the little bit. This tubing is 3/8 inch tubing, so on your flare tool here, it has the measurements handy. So there's the 3/8 right there. Then the rules say to have the end of the pipe stick up about 1/8 of an inch above the top surface. So that looks like 1/8 inch to me. Then you got this little doohicker. That's where I'm going to put the little drop of oil. I don't want to put enough where it gets in the pipe. Might be an unnecessary step, but that's just the way I roll. I've read that the flare should be about the same width, or roughly the same as this taper here, so that taper can sit down inside that flare. Okay, I put a wrench on the back here of this fitting to keep it from turning. And then cinch these down. this is how it looks. Comes out of the existing setup there. My future water lines. There, the flare nut and flare that we just put in. The T, another flare and flare nut. And then the quick disconnect valve with a safety lever on it. What's cool about this is the collar can't pull unless this is in the, like the go position. You know, then you can disconnect your line, but nothing can hit that and create some kind of a leak or anything at that point when this is locked here. It's just a little added safety. So now I'm going to go outside and turn the gas on and see if I have any leaks. I'm going to check for leaks with bubble solution, like for little kids to blow bubbles. I've never seen a bubblier solution than this stuff, and it has good surface tension, so they'll last long enough if there are any leaks, so I can actually see where they, you know, where they're coming from, whether it, you know, it's here or there or whatever, here. Okay, the gas is turned on. So see the bubble? You can tell there's a big leak there. I don't know if it's big, but it has to be tightened. No leaks on that one. No leaks on that one. I think we're good to go. Excellent. So I'm just going to put a little bit of sleeving on here to finish it up. So it looks tidy. And then I'll put that little clamp back on. The next step is to drill a hole through the wall to the outside of the ice house. I think a 7/8 hole should be big enough. It's big enough for the hose and the fittings to go through. And that's really all I need. Basically the size of the biggest fitting and then a little bit of wiggle room. So when I was trying to figure out where to put the fitting that goes through the wall, I just took the little gasket piece for that little thing I'm going to put on the outside. And I just kind of, you know, checked wherever. And I figured about 17 inches away from here, and even with the exhaust port on my furnace, just for cosmetic reasons. But the distance, I wanted a certain distance because I want to make sure that the propane line doesn't kink. So when it comes out of here with the quick connect or whatever, I want it to be able to turn gradually and go out the hole on the side of the ice house without putting any like stress on this up or down, or any, just basically any undue stress on this T-fitting I put in, because, you know, these lines are just copper. So what I'll probably do is, you know, have the hole here, and, you know, I'll put like a grommet or something just so it looks nice. And then I might put like a conduit tab, I think they're called, on the wall here. So just something that will keep this line from being pulled or anything, in case someone trips on it or something like that. I just want to make sure that nothing is gonna, you know, cause this to leak. I'm gonna run a 7/8 paddle bit in there so I can get a good look at what's behind here, make sure there's no wire or anything else before I just drive right on through. Ow. Insulation and slivers. I don't feel any wires or anything. I'm just going to take my finger and poke the insulation out of the way, because I still have to, you know, drill through the diamond plate down the outside of the ice house. Double check make sure the fitting can go through here. Yep. Just right. Goes right in, and I think it should be just enough to give the hose a little bit of support to go over to the T. And I just put a regular drill bit on the pilot bit so I can just barely reach the outside. And I will just drill a pilot hole, you know, from the inside to the outside through the diamond plate, and then I'll be able to open it up from the outside. Where is it? Right there. I'm going to use this paddle bit. I don't have a lot of faith because it's a wood bit. I don't know if it'll even go through this diamond plate, but that diamond plate is just so thin it might be alright. We'll see. I don't want to just totally can opener it. If it doesn't work, then I have a step bit I can use. Wow, this stuff is like literally like a soda can thick. Wow. Okay. So that's all good. Goes right to the hole inside. I can feel it. Goody. I'm just going to deburr this a little bit. It's actually a pretty smooth hole. It's not bad at all. But I'm just going to clean it up. Make sure it's not going to be anything that I can get cut on or that will cut the line or anything like that. There. Excellent. Very, very smooth. So now we're ready to put this box on the exterior of the ice house. I gave a brief glimpse of it earlier, but it latches shut, and what it is a coax nub. And it's supposed to go on your RV or camper or whatever, so you can plug into, like, if a campground has cable TV, apparently, some of them do. So we're not going to use that. So since I'm the master at using things for unintended purposes, I'm going to modify this to fit the propane line through it. First, I had this and got through to this size, which is a little bit too small. Bored it out with this until I could fit this burring tool thing in there, or deburring tool. I don't even know what this is for. It's just in my toolbox, but it works great for, you know, that. So since the hole in the ice house was drilled with this bit, that's my, you know, point of reference there, so that fits in there. Okay. So I'm putting stainless hardware to mount this to the ice house. Otherwise, you know, nasty regular hardware gets in the elements. So I've drilled one, you know, little hole for the screw in one corner. Got the gasket on there. And then I can just kind of secure this to the house. And it'll make it easier to drill the rest of the holes. It's almost like its own little template. Even though this has got like a neoprene gasket around it, I'll probably just run a little bit of like clear silicone around there just to be certain it's not going to leak, because the diamond plate does have some texture to it. Okay, so here's our end result. Looks pretty clean. Holes line up nice. It's all smooth on this surface and also on the metal inside there. I probably couldn't cut myself if I really tried. That snaps shut and has a nice positive snap. Yeah, doesn't look bad at all. So the way I intend for this to work, I've never seen this kind of a system anywhere or anything, so it's not tested and it's not, you know, it's nothing I've seen, so I'm just hoping it works. I just kind of thought about how to do it and did it. So for the remote line, a propane line to a grill or to a fire pit or whatever, so you open that up, stick it right in, and of course this will have a quick disconnect on that will hook to the fitting inside that we did earlier. I just haven't got the adapter yet to fit it, so it just fits in there. Just feed that right in like that, and then, you know, you've got your whole line here to go to whatever you want it to go to. And then on the inside, the line comes in. Oops. Like so. There's our line. Let's see what I'm doing here. And then, you know, again, it'll have that quick fitting on here. It'll plug right into there. And then when I'm finished with it, you know, I can just disconnect it and pull the other end in, or pull the line out altogether. However I feel like doing, whatever seems more practical. Once I use it, I'll probably figure out the best way to do it.